Y100 Texas made. Brody here. Want to help introduce you to a new artist, Mason Lively. He's been opening for some pretty big names here in Texas. One of his songs just got over 1 million streams. So let's get to know him and his music a little better. Mason Lively on Y100 Texas made. Here with Mason Lively.
What's up? What's up?
Getting ready for a big show tonight. Dude, you told me a while back, we were talking at Bluebonnet, and you were like, hey, I'm going to be opening for Aaron Watson.
Yes.
This is my first time playing Cowboys. How do you feel right now?
I feel ecstatic, man. This was the spot that everybody went to. I went to college, or at least attempted to, at Texas State and San Marcos.
Nice.
And this is kind of the spot that everyone that within like a couple hours that went to college would come to.
Yeah.
And since we started putting out records and playing music on the road and stuff, I'm like, I haven't played Cowboys yet. And tonight's the night. And then New Year's Eve, end of 2021, with Aaron Watson. What a better way to do it.
Dang. They would take the party buses.
Oh, yeah.
From
I never did
Texas
that.
State or whatever, yeah.
But we would carpool and then annoy the people that would drive us. But
yeah.
Fun times.
Dude. So this is going to air like after the fact. So
nice.
what we're doing is kind of like taking people like back in time. Like does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
It's so crazy because we're able to like put things in the can.
Yeah, it's
in
like
radio.
a little time capsule.
Exactly.
That's what happened New
exactly.
Year's Eve before.
So actually when we play some of this on the radio and everything like that, I will be able to say, I'll be like, man, Mason killed it.
Nice.
New Year's Eve, Aaron
so I
killed it.
better actually kill it.
You better kill it. Otherwise I think people are going to be really disappointed. So you went to Texas State.
I tried to. I went
okay.
to,
Let's talk about that a little bit.
Class. Yeah.
I took one class.
Long story short, I legit did take one class. And I took
goodness.
some class at ACC, the community college. But I
Austin?
started.
The Austin?
Austin
okay,
Community
yeah.
College. They had a campus just north of San Marcos and Cal.
Okay.
So I just did that for a little while. And I was just like, this music's more fun. I'm just going to do that for a little while and put this college thing on hold. And luckily, it's been working out ever since.
Were you playing like during that one class, like at Texas State? Were you up there like playing guitar, like doing some gigs in San Marcos?
Like in the quad there? No, I never did that. But I would do I would go to the square or just right there in front of the classes.
I went there for a semester myself, but I was tired of driving because I lived in Universal City. So I was like,
wow,
this sucks.
that is a drive.
So it was no fun at all. So I was like, So I went to UTSA, Birds Up.
Yeah, there you go.
And then,
all right.
But okay, so you're doing the one class and you're trying to get some stuff going?
Doing the one class, nailing it.
Mm-hmm.
And
what class was that, by the way?
It was government. I think it was Texas State. Yeah.
Okay.
And then it doesn't matter. I think my GPA is all messed up. Anyways, I decided to just kind of like keep doing the open mic nights and hitting up venues in San Marcos, New Braunfels, just this whole area. That's why I wanted to move up here. I grew up just outside of Victoria, Texas.
Yeah.
And there's really no music scene down there. So I wanted to come up here and just kind of dig in, and eventually, formed a band, still my band to this day, and put out a record.
All the original members.
Original guys.
The name of your band is the Mason Lively
Mason
Band?
Lively, yeah, it's just the name. And we ended up recording a record in 2018 and putting it out, and since then we got on with all these amazing guys like Aaron Watson, and Wade Bowen, Pat Green, Randy Rogers Parker, just to name a few guys that started kind of taking us on the road, opening up shows, and just building.
Those are like the go-to guys.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Let me check my. Yeah, those are the go-to guys here in Texas.
They are,
so
and we got pretty lucky pretty quick. We did, and we were just super blessed to be able to make the right connections and impress the right people, I guess. And we're still nowhere, where we want to be, but I'm grateful for where we've gotten so far.
Yeah. Well, the whole point of Texas Made is for us. Like I'm born and raised here in San Antonio, and the whole point of the show is really to connect our audience with more guys like you that are coming up and putting out good music. You wouldn't be sitting here with me if we didn't think that you made good music.
I appreciate that, man.
So here you are, and we want people to learn a little bit more about you. So how did you get into it in the first place? Because you weren't just like, oh, I'm here in San Marcos, let me like pick up a guitar now. Like obviously you were doing that before.
Yeah, 14 is when I picked up a guitar. I started actually singing first, which is never really the way it happens. It's always a guitar and then you start kind of singing. But I would just like sing along to songs on the radio, and people in my family, friends, they kind of started noticing that I had a decent voice, and I immediately started picking up a guitar and started learning songs and learning the 2-3 chords, all you need to get by.
Right. That's right.
Then I started writing songs, and that kind of snuck up on me, I guess, because I never really intended to. It was just like, okay, well, here's a way that I can also learn how to play songs, just make up stuff. And of course, those first few songs were awful, but they got better and they got better.
Kind of started coming together.
They were like, okay, some of these are good. And a couple of songs I wrote when I was still in high school ended up making my first record, and that I put out in 2018, Stronger Ties. So it's just kind of been an uphill. I love writing songs. I love just being able to be creative and being able to kind of say what I need to say, but also just fitting into like different molds, different me's every time I write a song. And it's just kind of cool to be able to see that progress, and to like, now I go up to Nashville regularly and I co-write with artists and writers and guys that wrote huge hit songs, and I'm just in a room with these guys, like learning from them as well. So it's a cool process.
Do you have like a favorite place where you go and you're like, this is my place, let me write a song?
Not really, but like sometimes I, like if I'm in the bedroom of my like apartment, I wish that I was back in my hometown like bedroom, like writing songs, because that's kind of where it all started, and that's where a lot of songs that I wrote were kind of, or I started writing, were kind of born. So sometimes so if there's a certain place, it'd probably be that one. But no, I've written songs everywhere from the back of our van to hotel room,
just
wherever really, wherever it hits you.
Dude, you brought up the van, and I was gonna bring this up a little bit later. Like, we're at Cowboys, I pull up, and then here comes Mason. He's driving the van. He's got all the gear. He's doing what he needs to do to make it. And I talked to Aaron Watson just a little while ago, and I said, dude, like, what do people need to know, like, if they're trying to come up, like, in the game, you know? And he said, you got to go out and just do it. You gotta be the guy. Like, don't take no for an answer, you know? And like, here you are, you're putting in the effort. You're obviously doing like multiple things. You're not just like, oh, let me just show up and do my thing.
No, it's got to get here somehow, right?
Yeah.
The trailer and the gear. And like, yeah, man, we don't have a road crew or anything like that by any means just yet. We're not at that level, but we want to get there eventually. And in order to do that, for shows like this, you got to start.
That's right.
You got to put your effort in. And like, it's funny because, you know, we've got 4 guys in our band, and we do the job of multiple guys once you're at that level. And of course, that's all in air quotes, but like, there's more involved when you're bigger and everything like that. But it's just cool to be able to figure out how it all works before you can just kind of kick back and be like, I'm the artist. I don't have to do stuff like that anymore, which I hope I'm never really like that, because I enjoy being a part of everything. I enjoy being hands-on with stuff. And again, you know, I'm like, all right, all our guys kind of live in this area. They all had stuff to do today. I'm just going to drive the van and trailer down there.
That's right. That's right. Well, and this was, see, at least we're not live right now. See, this was something you were looking forward to though. And so you're like, well, I'm going to make this happen, like, no matter what. This is Cowboys.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, huge, you know,
it's
Aaron Watson.
Such an honor. Yeah, for sure. And it's been a hectic sound check too. You know, you never know like what. I'm making sure the sound guy's like, no, listening. But like, no, you just never know what's going to happen as far as like how the day's going to go. It's not always like super smooth as far as sound checks go. Things break, things are missing, things are this or that. Yeah. But it always ends up working out in the long run, especially when you surround yourself with guys, you know, like in my band, or guys, even just great venues like this that have guys that know what they're doing. It all works out. So
well, and just having a positive attitude about it too, man. Because like I don't see you as like a negative guy. You're just like, how am I going to make this work? Let's go do it.
Yeah, I try not to be. You know, it's just like everybody's got those days where you're just like, golly, but most of the time you just got to be like, you know, I've seen it work out in some way, shape, or form by the end of the night when you're on stage.
It'll be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that. You know, speaking of the van thing too, Priscilla Block.
Mm-hmm.
She's been driving around her van, her church van, like all over the country, and she was just here at 8-Man Jam not too long ago. And I think it's her dad lives here in San Antonio or something still. So actually, like, she came back to visit and everything. But dude, she's driving the van.
Yeah, well, you got to.
Maybe not driving, but she's in the van.
Yeah.
Maybe she drives some of the time.
I bet she drives most of the time. I'm telling you, there are artists at a level that we kind of like as music fans, and I'm including myself too, because like I know this info, but I'm still like, you know, I gawk over a musician if I think they're great, or an artist if I think they're fantastic. There are guys that are at a certain level you think there's no way they're doing that stuff. They're still driving that van around. Yeah. That's still their only vehicle because they can't afford to have two vehicles, like a truck and a car.
You got to do what you got to do.
That's still, and you would be surprised at how many, you know, band members and like huge band that still have another side gig or bartend or whatever. So you just never know, man. You run into a lot of stuff like that. Their artists will surprise you, or band members.
I've seen some buses here that look like they're from like the 1970s, like Ben Dorsey is about to hop out or something like that, but not the case, obviously. But I'm like, wow. But they're doing what they got to do.
Exactly.
So now back to Priscilla. Obviously, TikTok, huge. How are
Right.
you doing on TikTok? I've seen a little bit. I
Not
followed
great.
your TikTok a little while ago.
Thanks, man.
For
I appreciate
Y100 San Antonio. Make sure you follow us on
Be
TikTok.
sure to follow that page and
Yeah.
Mason Lively on TikTok.
That's right.
No, it's been I've been doing okay at it. I got in kind of late on it, and I
Mhm.
was like, okay, well, I got to figure out how this works and everything like that. So I started just posting song clips, and I've noticed, and a lot of people were giving me this advice, but it's just a lot of like the day-to-day stuff that really gets
Yeah.
popular. A lot of the like taking videos, me and my wife doing stuff. You know, it's just like, okay, that's blowing up more than like a song clip or
Yeah.
promoting a show or something like that. So it's an unpredictable app, and that's what's kind of fun about it. And it's just insanely addicting to just scroll for hours.
Oh, I know.
But it's something you got to learn like everything else, and you got to keep putting content on and everything.
That's good advice. See, like we're trying to get TikTok going too. Like I'm trying to get mine going. I'm trying to get the station one going, and like I don't know what's gonna stick.
You
And
never
it's
know.
like, can we
It's
just go
weird.
viral already, please? You know,
Make
And
this
it's
happen,
frustrating.
please.
It's frustrating. But I
You
think
just never know.
you know a lot of folks are discovering music obviously on TikTok. So like you don't know, man. Like you may put up like a little something, and then it could just out of nowhere.
I've seen it happen with guys, with artists or guys or gals. You just never know.
Yeah. Have you been? Are there some Southern Girl TikToks on there?
Yes.
Have people done like a duet or anything? Have you done any of those?
Yeah, like the sound, like
Yeah.
where they take the sound and everything. I've seen a lot of those. I think Southern Girl is really the only song of mine that have had a lot of them. Like a lot of people recording with the song.
Yeah.
That's always cool to see because you never like it could be everything from some chick like showing off her outfits to like
Yeah.
a couple doing something or just someone just driving down the road. Like it's cool to kind of see that. Like, oh, you used my song for just
Yeah.
a little glimpse into your life. That's
But
kind of
yeah,
cool.
like now it's become part of their lives, and that's
Right.
like the connection right there with everybody. So for our Y100 audience here on Texas Made that has not heard something about a Southern Girl, let me give some stats real quick. And you told me this a few weeks ago. It's got over 1 million streams now.
Yes.
It's got over 1 million
so
streams.
Awesome.
When I first heard it, I was like, wow,
Thanks, man.
this sounds like us, Texas.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, I said, I played it for my boss too, and I was like, he sounds like one of our guys. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, man.
And like the sound is cool. Like you have a cool thing, man. I don't know
Thanks,
if like
man.
I'm hanging out with John Mayer right now or like,
Yeah.
but it's not one thing or another.
That's
it's,
cool to hear.
It's unique.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. That's kind of what I go for as an artist. Something that's not too far into one world or another. Just
Yeah.
whatever I feel is cool and what I think people will like. What I think is kind of my thing, my sound, and everything.
So you wrote this with Wade Bowen.
I did.
I read. Okay, so how did this come about? Tell everybody about the song. We are going to put some of this part on the radio
Nice.
though too.
Let's
So
go.
so talk about it.
Yeah, I started playing a bunch of shows with Wade. I got to a point where I would be, Wade's one of the nicest dudes in the scene. He would invite me on the bus. I'd hang out with him a little bit. Got to the point where that first record was doing some cool stuff for us, but it was time to go in for another record. And I had some songs, and got to the point where I was just kind of asking him for advice, like, where do I go for recording a next record? This first one we kind of did on our own in a way, and it kind of just happened. So he just kept kind of harping on the advice of like, get a producer, get a good producer. That's the key. And so finally, after like the third show of like him kind of telling me that anytime we talk about new music, my new songs, he just keeps saying like, get a good producer. That's like the key. And I just asked him one time if he wanted to do it. So he was like, yeah, sure, let's do it. So him and Justin Pollard, who is Pat Green's old drummer, awesome producer. He's produced a whole lot of records too, like for John Bauman and Dalton Domino, guys like that. They came together and they produced the self-titled record, Mason Lively, with something about a Southern Girl on it, and just needed a couple more songs. And Wade and I and Drew Kennedy wrote Southern Girl, and that was just kind of like where it all began, and that ended up being like the flagship song of the record.
Nice,
So,
nice.
yeah, man, it's been a cool process.
Where
for
did
sure.
y'all cut that?
We recorded most of it up in Tyler, Texas, Rosewood Studios.
Okay,
Yeah, and then the rest of it was like mixed and mastered in Nashville. So
nice.
it was cool, man.
Nice. Well, that's the one that we're gonna play on Y100, and the other one we were talking about too. Happy Home. Happy Home is
You
good
dig
too,
it?
dude.
I
I'm
love that
just
song.
excited to see the whole show like tonight and like to like hear more of this, like live, especially. Talk about Happy Home a little bit too.
That song I wrote by myself in a hotel room when we were on the road somewhere. I just had that chord progression, that melody, and that's one of those songs that sometimes you sit on a song for a month. Sometimes you can write it in 20 minutes, and that was the 20-minute song. I love that song. I love playing it live. It's kind of like, as far as my sound and everything, I feel like that song, like as a whole, is like the best representation of it, I think. So it's probably my favorite on the record. My favorite's always kind of divvy between a couple different songs, but right now Happy Home is definitely it.
Nice. I think the ones too that are very organic and they come quick, you know, like you're like, oh, I got something here, and like you can't stop writing.
Yeah, that's how that one was.
Nice.
It was cool.
So what's the big thing that you're looking forward to, like this year in
2022, next year.
Yeah. This year, next year. You know
Next
what I mean?
year.
Like
See you
we're
next
almost
year.
there. Happy New Year, almost.
Happy the next year dad joke.
Yeah.
We're all gonna be pulling on each other tonight. See you next year.
Yeah.
I
saw that earlier, like Alan Jackson. Did you see that? It was like on Whiskey Riff or something.
Yeah, I follow all those meme pages.
Oh,
keeps the pass the time and everything. But
Yeah.
I think 2022 is just it's just a year of firsts in a lot of ways. I want to like do a formal tour, you know, where we can kind of go out across the state and country and do like a tour headlining or opening for an artist or whatever. You know, I've got some personal goals and stuff. I've got new music coming out 2022.
Nice.
Hopefully at the beginning of 2022, it's looking like it. So
Stuff
yeah,
you've already recorded?
yeah, we're in the
Okay.
studio as we speak.
Yeah. Right now. We're literally
now.
in the
I'm in
studio,
the
right
studio.
now.
But I'm recording it in Nashville, so it's, you know, I take it in
Yeah.
trips and stuff. So
Your producer is going
Yeah.
there, or is Wade
my
still?
producer's in that. No, this
No.
is a guy named Andy Sheridan that's producing
Okay.
this next project.
Okay.
He did
He's-
some of Sam Riggs stuff, and
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, he's in Nashville, and I'm going up there about like once a month for the last 3 or 4 months, and got another trip in January in a couple weeks right after Steamboat, because I'm
Yeah.
going to Steamboat,
Yeah.
playing my first Steamboat. That's gonna be really cool.
Nice. Congratulations.
And
it's good. It's gonna be cold.
it's gonna be cold, cool and cold. So right after that, I come home and then I fly to Nashville and finish this little EP record
Yeah.
project. I don't really know what it is yet, but
Is there a go-to spot there in Nashville on Broadway where like you either like to go or like to play or both?
man, Broadway is not my cup of tea.
Yeah, okay.
Like, Broadway is kind of like, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Probably like Tootsie's on Broadway, just because it's kind of the coolest, most
Yeah.
like historic bar, I think, you know. Every artist and singer-songwriter loves the Red Door. I know some artists are going to hate that I'm shouting it out because that's like their spot.
Uh-huh.
But like the Red Door in Midtown, that's always a really cool spot,
Okay.
cool bar to go to and
I haven't
hang
been
out
to
at.
Nashville in a while, so I need to go soon.
You got to go, bro. It's fun.
I want to go DJ like somewhere though, but I
Do
don't know
it.
where. So I need recommendations and I need people to like book me. But this isn't about me.
There's an infinite amount of bars there. I'm sure one of them
Yeah.
will book you. I'm sure you're a better DJ than a lot of the guys that they have at bars there.
Maybe we'll just. I mean, I don't know if I can go like. Well, because everybody's playing like Texas or like everybody's playing like country music or rock or
Right.
something, and like nobody gets paid, right? Like none of the,
Yeah,
the
no.
artists like they're all just playing for tips.
Pretty much.
So the DJs are bound to like get paid, I would imagine, but then like they probably don't play any country music like at all when they DJ.
Yeah,
Probably.
maybe.
I don't know.
mean,
I
like
don't-
sometimes I hear a lot of. I've heard a lot of cool mashups of country
Yeah?
songs and
Okay.
like dubstep country, so it's pretty cool.
Interesting. I used to make some and then I kind of stopped because I was getting in trouble.
Nice.
Like people were like, "Stop ruining
Can you
all
stop
of our
doing
favorite
that?
songs." Yeah. So interesting. I don't know if they know the Texas stuff though. I'd rather just like play here.
It's getting more popular, I think.
Yeah.
I think because a lot of labels and a lot of publishing companies and guys like that, you know, outfits that operate in Nashville are
Yeah.
really trying to bridge that gap, because guys like Parker and Cody Johnson
Yeah.
have really done a good job at kind of connecting the two worlds.
Well,
so.
it's like if you're not on board, and I mean, granted, like we play like Nashville based
Right.
country because like we're a mainstream country radio station that is now playing Texas music as well, which we should be.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like if you're not on board with Cody and Parker,
Yeah, I mean,
then
they're country
just,
music.
Just leave
you
the
know?
planet at this
Exactly.
point. Yeah, like you don't belong on planet Earth. So like if you don't like those guys, so
Exactly.
and I will not take that back ever. So
That's a stand, bro.
you have a favorite place in Texas that you like to play, or
That I
you
like to
haven't
play?
played that you want to play besides Cowboys? Because you can check this one off now. After
I can
tonight.
check this one off, which is great. Of course, like Billy Bob's, Whitewater Amphitheater. Haven't played either one of those. I really want to. I've gotten to play Green Hall, which is amazing. I've gotten
Yes.
to play ACL, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm just kind of crossing the venues off. And this was like, as far as like my mental bucket list, this was a venue that was on there, so it's cool that I get to cross it off
Nice.
tonight.
I feel like this could be this 22 is going to be a big year for you. See, we're in limbo right now because this will be shown later.
We're in the twilight zone.
But we're
of
still in
years.
21. Like, I don't even know what year it is right now. It's crazy. I got Black Eyed Peas on at home. Like, I hope I did not burn them. They're in the crock pot. And I started them this morning before I left. So, like, I'm going to go home here.
I thought you meant the actual band. Like, you
Oh,
had
no.
them playing at your house.
There is at my house. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Laura,
no.
you had them playing and you left them on or something like
Yeah.
that. I'm like, is it 2008?
My dog is upset. He's frustrated. Let's get it started. I can't sing. So. All right, so with Texas Made, and this is brand new, and we've only done this a couple times now. You're my second guest.
Oh, sweet.
There's something that we're doing in every episode that I'll put it on TikTok and everything later, and it's called "That's What I Like About Texas."
Nice.
So the top 3 things that you like about Texas.
Top 3 things.
Mason Lively edition. Texas Made.
Texas summers. Everybody always complains about them. They're too hot. I love them, especially if you live in this area. San Marcos, New Braunfels, San Antonio, Austin. So much water, so much to do. I love Texas summers, and that's definitely my number 1. I know that's not like a specific thing, but
I love that.
Let me think here. Food always comes to mind.
Yeah.
A good Fry Hike Country Store burger.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those are solid.
Best burgers in New Braunfels for sure.
Which one do you
But,
go with? I know they have lots of options there.
Man, that sourdough bread cheeseburger.
Yeah,
Let's go.
that's the one.
That's the one.
Okay.
That is the move.
I think I had like the mushroom Swiss
Really?
maybe last time or something like that.
Sounds
Yeah.
pretty good too.
Okay.
Let's see, the third thing. The history, Texas history, and that also includes Texas music history. You know, that's love it. Big history buff, big Texas history buff, big Texas music history buff. And I will eventually create a museum to blend all of those together.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm just saying that for the first time right now, but I'm going to make it happen.
Got to now.
Virtual museum, because nobody is going to be going to museums.
It's on tape. Yeah.
By the
like,
time I'm
you can
able to do that.
You can sell NFTs or something for all the virtual
NFT
things that are
museum.
inside the museum. I don't even know how all this stuff works now. I keep saying it, but yeah, you just do the works of art.
Exactly.
And then people will buy them for like millions.
Exactly.
I think that's how the internet's going right now. It's a bunch of BS.
It's maybe Ponzi scheme-ish, but we'll see what happens.
We talked about me and my cousin. He's from Texas originally, but he's in Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri.
Oh yeah.
And we were talking about things that are real that you can acquire, land.
Yeah.
You know, like properties.
Those are still the best NFTs on the market.
Animals like that can provide food.
Right.
And then things that just protect your family.
Exactly.
That's pretty much like what you need right there. NFTs, I don't know. I'm not so sure about all that.
Half the audience is like Googling, like
what is this NFT business? I can't even describe it
Me
in
either.
like great detail. So
I know there's just a part of me that's telling me I should do it. That's all I know. You know, that's always secure, right? When like you don't even know what it is, and there's still your buddies on the side be like, dude, you should invest. I'm like, maybe I will.
Just do it, like the Charizard card or something. I
Exactly.
don't know. I feel like we've gotten so off track now.
We're going all over the place now.
Well,
Good
dude,
TikTok clips.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what we're doing. Really.
NFTs. The fun thing about like this whole thing is like we can just like sit here and like talk.
Yeah,
and,
there's not a time
and
limit or anything.
People
like
get
that.
to know you, man, and like that's what it's all about. And you know, just making this Texas music scene stronger, like
Yeah.
for sure. So, dude, I'm looking forward to the show tonight. I definitely appreciate the time.
Thank you, man.
We're gonna get some stuff on the radio, and
I really appreciate that.
We'll see you down the road. A
Absolutely.
little ways too. Mason, thank you.
Thank you, Brody. It's gonna be a fun show.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.